Today, we are going to learn education in China. Education, 教育，教育。今天我们要学习的是中国教育。The BBC once made a documentary about China's 高考。高考 means the college entrance examination. 高考。For a lot of foreign students, Chinese education has a distinctive characteristic of examination orientation, which is called 应试教育。应试教育 exam-oriented education. Read after me. 应试教育。应试教育。And today we are going to take a look at changes in the China's education system from history to the present. Let's first take a look at the important term 百家争鸣. Literally, it is the convention of 100 schools of thought. 百家争鸣. It refers to the emergence of different schools of intellectuals and debates among them during the spring and autumn period and the warring states period. Confucius, Laozi, and Mencius, who are well known to us today, were all outstanding scholars of these two periods. After the unification of China, Qin Shi Huang unified Chinese capitals. Education since then has a more consistent medium. Meng Tian made pens from rabbit's hair, and Cai Lun made paper from tree bark, which greatly drove the development of new civilization. By the time of Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty, the policy of 罢黜百家, 独尊儒术, which means to reject other schools of thought and respect Confucianism only, under which the doctrine of Confucius in Confucian Classic became the orthodoxy concept for the government to determine policies and govern the country, and later became the standard for the examination of scholars and selection of government officials. Confucianism, in Chinese, is called Ru. Ru. The formal establishment of educational institutions began also during the reign of Emperor Wu in Han Dynasty, when he, on the advice of Confucian scholar Dong Zhongshu, established an institution of higher learning, Taixue, in the capital Chang'an to train talented officials. He also created posts of 博士 for the 5 Confucius classics to encourage the study. 博士, 博学的人, which means knowledgeable person. 现在我们称 PhD 为博士。博士。And Emperor Wu also issued an imperial edict requiring local officials to recommend talented people to study in Taixue. In the early Tang Dynasty, Emperor Taizong encouraged and rewarded education and scholarship, so schools developed rapidly. It was a time when Japan, Korea, and other neighboring countries sent their young talents to study in China. The imperial examination system was further formed and perfected in the Song Dynasty. Imperial examination in Chinese is 科举制. 科举制. Since then, 科举 had become a very effective and necessary way for the commission of outstanding officials by the national government. The imperial examination system is a system of selecting officials through examinations in China and later in Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and other countries under the influence of China. From its inception to the last examination held in 1905, the imperial examination in China had gone through over 1,200 years. The main examination of Keju were held on a regular basis. The imperial examination were held once a year in the Tang Dynasty and early Song Dynasty, once every year and 2 years during the time of Emperor Taizong of Song Dynasty, and every 3 years in the 3rd year of Zuo Zhiping, during the reign of Emperor Yingzong of Song Dynasty. As the most fair form of talent selection that could be adopted in ancient times, the imperial examination system expanded the social sources of talents in country and absorbed a large number of people from middle and lower classes into the ruling group. The emperors of Ming and the Qing dynasties laid much stress on education. Rapid progress had been made in the development of local academies and examination system during these 2 dynasties. With the content of the examination gradually fixed and the learning goal only linked to the official career, however, the teaching content and examination methods of the imperial examination system became somewhat outdated. The outbreak of the Opium War in 1840 not only broke the myth of the invisible Asian Chinese Empire, but also exposed the disadvantages of traditional education. Thus, in the following 80 years or so, from the First Opium War in 1840 to the main force of New Cultural Movement in 1919, China gradually carried out 2 educational modernization movements of learning from the West and reforming the tradition. Opium War, 鸦片战争，鸦片战争。5·4新文化运动 The New Cultural Movement 5·4新文化运动。现代化 Modernization 现代化现代化教育现代化。After the First Opium War, the education modernization sprouted in the trend of 经世致用, which means studying ancient classics should meet present needs. Scholars continuously put forward 中学为体，西学为用。中学为体 means taking Chinese traditional thoughts as the main body of education. 西学为用 means learning Western science and technology while learning Chinese traditional Confucianism. In 1862, the government established what is now known as the Tongwenguan, School of Combined Learning. Tongwenguan is to train official translators. Thus began the modernization of the college. In the Tongwenguan, students learn the languages and cultures of different countries. Apart from Tongwenguan, other kinds of schools were established, in some key cities, one after another, which became the forerunners of the modern school system in China. In 1867, the military college to teach the theory and application of mechanical engineering manufacturing was established. In 1867, shipbuilding institution in Mawei, Fuzhou, was established for students to study ship manufacturing. In 1879, Tianjin Telegram College was established. To establish, 设立，也可以说建立，建立。 College in Chinese is 学院,学院. In the following decades, new universities and colleges gradually replaced the traditional ones, and subjects studied tended to be more pragmatic. Now, let's take a look at of the education since the founding of New China. Since the founding of New China, remarkable achievements has been made in education. Let's look at of basic education first. China's basic education consists of three parts: preschool education, primary education, middle and high school education. In the past 70 years, fair and balanced development has been the priority and orientation of basic education. Fair, 公平, 公平, balanced, 均衡, 均衡. Due to China's vast geographical territory and wide gap in level of economic development among various regions, the state attaches great importance to helping and supporting the development of basic education in remote areas and ethnic minority areas. The state grant system is widely established, benefiting millions of students. State grant in Chinese is called 助学金, 助学金. At the beginning of the founding of New China, there were only 205 small-sized institutions of higher learning, with a total of fewer than 120,000 students. In response to the needs of scientific and technological challenges, the government has successfully formulated national strategies of revigorating China through science and education, and strengthening the nation through human resources development, and defined the fundamental, guiding, and overall role of education in China's modernization drive. The 211 and 985 projects have been accelerated the construction of world-class universities, effectively promoting the country's scientific research and capacity. Dear students in front of the screen, if you guys want to study in China but have no idea which universities to go, you can directly search for the list of 211 and 985 projects universities in China, which are the earliest major development universities. That's what we Chinese often called key universities, 重点. After the implementation of the reform and opening up policy, which in Chinese is 改革开放, 改革开放, overseas education has presented a rapid increase. As the statistics on the official website of the Ministry of Education has shown, the total number of Chinese students studying abroad was over 70,000. Since 改革开放 in 1978, nearly 6 million people have studied abroad, maintaining the status of the world's largest source country of foreign students. In terms of foreign students studying in China, up till now, the number of students studying in China has increased from 1,226 in 1978 to 500,000 today. China has become the largest country of destination for studying in Asia. Chinese foreign cooperation in running schools. In the 70 years since the founding of New China, Chinese foreign cooperation in running higher education has grown from scratch to existence. There are 65 Chinese foreign cooperative education institutions and 789 Chinese foreign cooperative education projects at the undergraduate level. and there are 9 independent cooperative universities. Wenzhou Kenyin University was on the list. Dear students, China enjoys a very long history of education. Today, the level of modernization and internationalization of Chinese education is also on the rise. Welcome to China for a walk, a look, and to study. That's all for today's course. Bye!